following program is provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on your Marlborough This Week News Update. The 2007 Business Awards recognition dinner took place this past Thursday night. We have the exclusive footage you can only see right here. 425 young Americans die suddenly each month due to cardiac arrest. What was done this past week to ensure lives are saved here in the city. And Marlborough High School students get real about alcohol, a message for all parents about what they can do to protect themselves and their children. Welcome to your MTW News Update. Let's begin right now with this week's top stories. The two candidates vying for the Ward 5 seat have both submitted the sufficient amount of signatures needed to run. Robert Seymour submitted 62 signatures, 12 more than required, and John DeBarrow submitted 69 signatures, 19 more than required. According to head clerk in the city's elections division, Celeste Wright, states the candidates still had to submit their petitions to the city clerk by Tuesday, March 4th. The special election will be held on May 6th. Onto the crime watch this week, as a local was arrested Sunday afternoon after police found half a pound of marijuana in his backpack. After being stopped in a car, 19-year-old Nicholas Bukowski of 135 Woodridge Road was arrested. Police allegedly found marijuana in his backpack and in his room, along with illegal fireworks. According to the Metro West Daily News, Bukowski is charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana, and possession of illegal fireworks. Bukowski was arraigned on Monday and was released without bail. Due to abundant snowfall, damaged mailboxes, lamps, and stone walls are just some of the damaged property that have been included in claims from city residents this year. Claiming the damage is the easy part. Actually getting reimbursed for that damage seems to be the hard part. If the driver doesn't file a report, it results in a rejection by the insurance company. The city is now considering changing the process so claims against contractors will not go to the city's insurance company, but will go directly to the contractor's insurance company. Commissioner of Public Works Ron Lafreniere and City Solicitor Donald Ryder are currently examining the process and will report back to the committee. City councilors toured the facility at 110 Pleasant Street on Monday night, which has been foreclosed after the property owner was unable to pay money he owed in back taxes and interest. Councilors described the building to be vacant, water-soaked, and in disrepair. Councilors debated this past week whether to auction off the property or to put out a request for proposals. During an Operations and Oversight Committee meeting, councilors voted to keep the issue open for further discussion. The current building on the site is home to a church, police substation, a paintball outlet, and an addiction referral center. All tenants have been given a 1 month's notice to leave.
It's clear that collaboration, as you're describing it, is critical to move forward.
A special policy and curriculum subcommittee meeting was held this past Wednesday night concerning the need for teacher collaboration, as officials came to the conclusion that a plan to increase teacher collaboration while shortening school days will likely not happen. A safer version of the plan may be implemented instead.
I find it hard to rationalize taking away classroom time to do something that I think could be worked out in another option.
In order to boost teacher collaboration, students would be released 1 hour early on 10 school days throughout the year. Several members stated that more information is essential to make a final decision, especially from after-school programs such as the Boys and Girls Club, to see if they could accommodate such a release.
Until we understand the financial impact on families, I wouldn't support this moving forward. As far as the concept goes, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Mary Murphy, principal of Jarwick Elementary School, stated that the proposal was the most cost-efficient way to give teachers time to vocalize problems and ideas.
But this is, for us, the no-cost way. And we always come forward with a no-cost option rather than saying, please give, i.e., more staff so that they can all be released on a regular basis and shared.
At the end of the discussion, Intermediate Elementary School Principal Sue Pecor presented a plan that seemed to please the crowd.
Maybe we should look at the policy, get some of these questions answered by collaborating through email, and then maybe even think of a limited proposal, almost like a pilot, to say, okay, you asked for 15, but we're going to try 2.
Right.
Better than none,
Yeah.
and let's see, was there a breaking point?
It is too soon to tell when the pilot program would begin because the district's leadership team must meet to discuss the plan. A proposal to convert the abandoned state property on Lincoln Street into 12 condominiums is back before the City Council. Mr. Ming Wang of Medford, who owns the property as of 2006, is seeking approval of a plan to convert the State Armory on Lincoln Street into 12 residential condominiums. A public hearing has been scheduled for Monday, March 24th. Speaking of condos, now to the new senior housing development on Pleasant Street. The Christopher Heights project is clearly on its way. Contractors continued this week finalizing the property, and the facility will be opening its doors in early spring. As it states clearly in front of the building, applications for residency are now being accepted. The annual Business Awards dinner was held Thursday night at the Best Western Royal Plaza Hotel. Master of Ceremonies Paul Mina of the United Way of Tri-County announced the 6 award winners. Intel Massachusetts won the Business of the Year, while Employment Options picked up the Small Business of the Year. Perhaps the loudest applause came when Dave Walton of Patriot Ambulance won Business Person of the Year. The Marlborough Spirit Award went to the Marlborough chapter of BNI, and the Marlborough Pride Award went to Courtyard by Marriott. The newly named Green Award went to Evergreen Solar. On Tuesday, Patriot Ambulance donated a Type 3 ambulance to the Marlborough Fire Department for the department's fire investigation unit. A 24-year-old van used by the fire department for arson investigation will now be replaced by the 2000 model, which will have no cost to the city. The official handover of the keys and the title of the vehicle was held this past week at Marlborough Fire headquarters. Take a listen.
Patriot stepped up, offered this vehicle to us to help us in our need, and we want to take this particular opportunity to thank them for their assistance. It goes a long way to help us in conducting the business that we have to perform at a fire.
The vehicle will now allow the members of the fire investigation unit to have an interview area and plenty of space for the storage of specialized tools, evidence containers, and portable lighting required to conduct a proper fire investigation. Junior Women's Club and Heart Screen America teamed up this past week to offer affordable heart screening services to Marlborough High School. The special program was held at Marlborough High School on Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. The screenings were open to all students, and this year Marlborough served 76 individuals. The mission of Heart Screen America is to protect kids from sudden cardiac arrest and other heart diseases. More than 350,000 Americans die each year from sudden cardiac arrest.
It's a very tragic event. I think the worst thing is quite often there are no symptoms, and I think the number one child in one town in one school is enough to make any parent want to participate in this program and have their child's heart screened.
Lucky for us, Avery Bonina, a 6th grader at Marlborough Middle School, allowed us to watch his screening. And as you can see, it didn't hurt him one bit.
She put the stickers on, and she put the electrical things on the stickers, and then she pressed the button. It didn't hurt at all.
Kathleen Gano of the Marlborough Junior Women's Club, who was a big part in having Heart Screen America come to Marlborough, explains just how important these screenings can be.
It really doesn't make sense to me that, we go to the doctors and they have their physicals and they get eyes and whatnot checked. But really when you're playing sports, it's the core, it's your heart that's what's working. So it's so vital that we make sure that that's working properly.
Heart Screen America's affordable heart screening programs are a fraction of the cost for comparable services offered at outpatient facilities. Heart Screen America is screening hearts and saving lives. And if you want to learn more about what they actually do, please visit heartscreenamerica.com.
The Marlborough Panthers finished their regular season with a pair of wins that showed their offense was ready to fire. In the first game, the Panthers beat Doherty 97-92 behind, now get this, a 29-point 17-rebound, 8-block performance from George Jordan. Keith Brown added 25 points, and Andre Beauchamp drained 4 triples on his way to 20 points and 12 rebounds. A week later, the Panthers destroyed Milford 84-45, dominated on both ends of the court. In the first quarter, Jordan ignited the Panthers' break by controlling the glass. He finished with 13 boards before giving way to Brown, who torched the Scarlet Hawks for 33 points, 18 of which came from the land beyond. The regular season was just the beginning for the Panthers, who took on Worcester South in the Division I Central quarterfinals last Thursday night. Brown got the Panthers started, nailing a triple on the team's first possession. Connor Flynn shows off his range, and after some good defense and a putback by Beauchamp, the Panthers were up 12-2 just 4 minutes into the contest. Jordan's bucket at the end of the quarter put the Panthers ahead 20-10 after 1 quarter of play. In the second, the Panthers got a big push from their bench. Freshman Caden Severin tracks down this miss, gets it to Graham Asom, who's money from 3. Asom then grabs the loose ball and finds Brown, who's not going to miss that open of a look, and it was 30-14 Marlborough. The Panthers would go into the break up 34-24, and after Jordan started the third quarter with a hoop, it looked like it was going to be easy sailing for Marlborough. Worcester South, though, had a different idea, and they would not back down and would get the lead down to 4. Then, it was all Mr. Brown. Brown's 3 pushed the lead up to 7, and after South got the lead all the way down to 3, Brown stopped South cold with a cold-hearted 3, and it was 50-45 after 3 quarters of play. In the fourth, the Panthers pulled away as Jordan got 2 of his 19 and then worked the give and go perfectly here with Flynn. Brown would put the exclamation point on the 75-65 win with his 5th three-pointer of the night. Brown would lead all scorers with 25, while Jordan pulled down 15 rebounds and added 5 blocks. Beauchamp and Flynn each scored double figures, with Beauchamp going for 11 and Flynn hitting for 10. The Panthers advanced to the semifinals and played Wachusett last Sunday. We'll have highlights of that game and the Panthers' Central Final game against St. John's next week. That's Sports for the Week. I'm Brendan Rosenau. We'll see you at the game.
The Marlborough School District, among 12 other Massachusetts high schools, was selected by the Massachusetts Math and Science Initiative program that will make its graduates more ready to succeed in college. Officials, including high school principal and acting superintendent Mary Carlson and Mayor Nancy Stevens, accepted a grant on Tuesday that will give the school district the ability to take its advanced placement courses to a whole new level. The money, which is approximately $400,000 over the next 5 years, will allow the district to train more AP teachers in addition to paying for that support the teachers will receive.
We have a really flourishing advanced placement program, but we need to expand that so that as many students as possible can really have access to those. So that in itself is wonderful. The other part really is the financial support that we certainly can't afford, being fiscally responsible. I mean, it's almost $500,000 over 5 years. But it gives us professional development. It will continue to provide training for us, for our advanced placement teachers, for teachers who are trained already and need to be retrained, but also for teachers who have not been trained, and we want to open that up as well.
President of the MMSI program, Morton Orlove, states the goals of the program are to increase participation, increase performance, and most importantly, increase college readiness. Marlborough was one of the 12 schools chosen through a competitive process to participate in the program's Massachusetts launch during the 2008-2009 school year. New schools will be added each year, and the plan is to have the program implemented on 90 high schools across the Commonwealth by the year 2013. Marlborough High School Students Against Destructive Decisions made the community aware on Thursday night of just how available alcoholic beverages are to high school students. The community briefing was held at Marlborough High School and included a presentation by Richard Campbell on the risks that parents take by hosting a party for their children. Campbell's program called Be a Parent, Not a Pal explains that social host liability can hold parents responsible for children drinking in their home, even when the parents are away.
No matter how well-intentioned you are in running these parties, no matter how great you think you are in predicting the behavior of underage kids when they consume alcohol, you're not being wonderful and you are not good at predicting.
Campbell states that when your child approaches you to have a party for underage persons, he says to picture that request as an $8 million party because that's what you could potentially owe if something goes wrong.
Because that is the scope of the potential civil liability that can flow from a criminal violation in this area. And I'm referring, of course, to catastrophic injuries and deaths that come about in a wide variety of circumstances.
The community briefing held in Marlborough was just one of 350 similar briefings across the country on March 5th and March 6th. Visit the website youtakeitback.org for more information. The mayor, together with the members of the City Council and the City Scholarship Committee, are proud to offer the City Scholarship application. The city will offer 5 $1,000 scholarships to Marlborough residents this year. The recipients must be residents of the city and must apply and be accepted to a college or university of their choice. The deadline for submission will be on Wednesday, April 16, 2008. Let's take a look now at some important events coming up. First, Marlborough will be holding 2 blood drives, which will be held on March 12th and March 26th. They'll take place at the Masonic Hall on the corner of Main and Newton Streets from 1 to 7 p.m. The American Red Cross asks donors to be 17 and older, to weigh 110 pounds or more, and to bring an ID to participate. For more information, please call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. Next, the Boys and Girls Club of Metro West will be holding their annual Teen Job Fair on Thursday, April 3rd from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The fair will offer teens ages 16 to 19 the chance to network with local businesses looking to hire youth for summer, weekend, or school jobs. And don't forget the Mayor's Charity Ball, which will be held on Saturday, April 5th. Before we go, we at WMCT-TV just want to give everybody a big thanks for being so patient with us as we move from 255 Main Street to 91 Main Street. Now the studio is almost up and running, and all in-house and access programming can begin again on the week of March 17th. So don't hesitate to call us. We cannot wait to hear from you. Well, that's going to do it for your MTW News Update. We'll see you again next week. Until then, take care.
The following program is provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on your Marlborough This Week News Update. The FY09 budget has been presented. How much the budget has increased since last year. The City of Marlborough wants you to age well. What new facility had its grand opening this past week that will do just that? And WMCT-TV studios are finally up and running. What that means for you and an open house date that you just don't want to miss. Welcome to your MTW News Update. Let's begin right now with this week's top stories. This past week, school committee members revealed the proposed budget for fiscal year 2009. Assistant Superintendent James Jolliker made the budget presentation for the committee and is proposing a 6.74% increase from the current budget, which would make final numbers go from just over $46 million to over $49 million. Committee members stated that they are open to scrutiny of the budget to ensure that they are as cost efficient as possible. In addition, members stated strongly that parents and all residents are urged to get involved.
Pick up the phone, send an email. We are representative, or I'd like to think we are, of the community's wishes. And we do bring that to the table and we discuss that.
Please pay attention at home. Please ask the questions. Please be aware, because there are certain things that we can only do so much if we don't have the feedback. So take a look what's going on around you, and please bring it to our attention so that we can also be your voice.
Following Tuesday's presentation, principals and department heads spent several hours discussing more detailed presentations on each section of the budget during a day-long session at the District Education Center. District administrators have proposed a $49 million budget that will cover increased transportation costs. Following a presentation by the Director of Human Resources, Jeffrey Haynes, Finance Committee members realized they might have an extra $190,000 due to teachers retiring. Committee Vice Chairwoman Kathleen Roby stated that the money would go, or could go, to fill some much-needed positions. Principals of the Kane, Richer, and Jarwick elementary schools spoke to the committee as a group and stated that each school needs a paraprofessional. Ned Pratt, the Director of People Personnel Services, states that his department has several needs as well. Roby stated that the Finance Committee will make recommendations next Wednesday, March 19th, when it meets to finalize its proposed budget for next year. Representatives of Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School in Marlborough have denied allegations to a recent report filed by the Office of Inspector General regarding financial issues and the mismanagement of funds. In a detailed response posted on the school's website, the school explains that the school fully cooperated during an extensive 8-month investigation. After the investigation, OIG concluded that there is a pattern of excessive spending in relation to conventions, conferences, and meals. A result from various charges cannot be determined at this time. Marlborough recently received approval from the legislature to leave the Worcester RTA and join the Metro West RTA. City councilors vowed on Monday night that service would not be disrupted as the city joins a new regional transit authority. Councilors stated that when Marlborough first debated leaving the Worcester Transit Authority, the city was assured service would not be cut in the meantime.
We absolutely received their assurances that this would not be an issue, that they would work out that interagency agreement, and that we wouldn't even be dealing with this problem that we have before us right now. I mean, I have no confidence whatsoever in the Worcester RTA.
Mayor Nancy Stevens did say that if service is decreased or shortened, the city is working on a plan to fill that gap.
Again, we have a contract in place till June 30th. I have made informal calls the end of last week to people that I thought could help us out in a pinch. If something should happen, if we should start seeing a decrease in service, to make sure that we maintain the level of services. Everyone I have spoken to has 100% said to me, give me a day's notice and we can help you out.
Last month, Marlborough Hospital was recognized with the Best of Beacon Award for peer-leading 7-day aftercare follow-up rates. Beacon Health strategies state that studies have shown that engaging patients within 7 to 30 days of their discharge optimizes the patient's chances for recovery. A ribbon cutting for a new facility called the Aging Well Adult Day Health Center took place this past Thursday, and of course, we were there to capture all the excitement. Representatives from the Marlborough Chamber of Commerce, City Council, and even the mayor turned out for the event to welcome the facility, a facility they say is crucial to our older residents.
Marlborough actually needed a place like this to bring parents, to bring relatives, to bring friends, so that they can stay at home, so that they don't have to go to an institution, so that they can have socialization, they can have ongoing daily medical coverage that they might not be able to have at home.
A facility like this provides that respite and that comfort and that peace of mind for the children. And I think it's a great facility, it's a beautiful facility, and I'm really pleased to have something like this in the city. Again, as I said earlier, it's really important for us to provide for our seniors. And we're trying to do that with our affordable assisted living, with our programs at our senior center, and to have a facility like this where someone that needs a little more assistance during the day, to be having a safe, comfortable place to be during the day, I think is great.
Many of us have parents as well as children that we're taking care of. And this is the most unbelievable service that we can have for our parents who are aging. And every one of us is going to hit it, and it's very nice to see this in the business community.
Aging Well is dedicated to providing care for elderly and disabled adults who require supervision during the day. For your loved ones, it's a chance to be more active in a comfortable environment with trained medical staff on hand. Each plan is individualized depending on the specific needs of your loved one, is designed to promote both physical and mental health. Recreational activities include daily exercise, games, crafts, and movies, educational programs, guest speakers, and entertainers. And there's also daily trips. In order to be eligible, participants must be 18 years of age or older, need day health services a minimum of 2 days a week, and have a primary health care provider. The program is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Extended hours are also available. The center is located at 420A Maple Street, Suite 25. Feel free to stop by and see what it has to offer you, or you can check out their website at agingwellcenter.com. To promote recycling, Mayor Nancy Stevens has instructed employees to recycle all materials banned from the waste stream. Recycling Committee Chair Peggy Ayers states that the move provides an opportunity for the city to serve as a role model for the community. The city of Marlborough currently offers 2 ways to recycle: curbside or the residential drop-off facility located on 856 Boston Post Road East. Ayers says that if you can rip it, you can recycle it. Remember the stream team I told you about last year? Well, it's 1 year later and they're at it again. Just in case you forgot about what it's all about, here's Green Marlborough co-founder Jennifer Boudry with more.
We're looking for, trouble spots. We're looking at the health of the stream, and we're learning about the whole stream. It's a good learning experience, but the purpose is to monitor the health of the stream. They run in our backyards. We want to make sure they're healthy. They're lovely to look at. We want to take care of them. Streams are an important part of our environment. They're habitat, for the fauna and the flora that live with us in Marlborough.
What's exactly involved is 1 night of training, half a day of field stream work, and 1 night of reporting and data collection. To participate in the 2nd annual Stream Team Survey, please attend a 7 o'clock meeting on the 4th floor of City Hall this Tuesday, March 18th. Let's take a look now at some important events coming up. The Friends of the Marlborough Public Library will be presenting their first program for their 38th annual Author Celebrity Series. Wednesday, March 19th will kick off the 3-part series at 7 p.m., which will be held at the Bigelow Auditorium. The first guest is former Congressman and WCRN radio talk show host Peter Blute. Next, in light of St. Patrick's Day, magician Debbie O'Carroll will bring Irish tales and contemporary stage magic together in a special St. Patrick's Day event on Monday, March 17th from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. in the Bigelow Auditorium at the Marlborough Public Library. O'Carroll's performances features classical characters from Irish children's literature and is recommended for children age 4 and up. This program is free and is open to everyone. Well, the wait is almost over. WMCT-TV studios are almost finally up and running. What this means for you is that all in-house and access programming can begin once again on the week of March 17th. And your favorite show, of course, Marlborough This Week, will be back in full swing. We have a new co-anchor. Can't tell you who yet, but make sure you watch the premiere show of Marlborough This Week, airing on March 28th. We at WMCT-TV and M8 would also like to cordially invite you to a tour of our new studios. We are having an open house Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome, and if you'd like more information, please contact Access producer Kelly McLaughlin at 508-481-1373. Now is a great time to come and see what your local cable station is all about. Well, that can do it for your MTW News Update. We want to thank you once again for joining us. Have a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you again next week.
The preceding program was provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union. The following program is provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on your Marlborough This Week News Update.
If I thought for 1 second I did anything wrong, I'd have dropped my keys.
Assabet regional school officials set the record straight on Tuesday night concerning accusations of financial mismanagement. Marlborough school officials approved the 2009 school budget. Was it smaller than originally planned? And Marlborough Hospital wants to lower your diabetes risk, and they have just the doctor to do it. Welcome to your MTW News Update. Let's begin right now with this week's top stories.
We haven't been wrong for 35 years, and we have not changed our methodology.
The Assabet Valley Regional Technical School held a press conference this past Tuesday night to address any and all questions regarding the Inspector General's February 22nd report.
Unfortunately, we hit the newspaper, we're on TV for one purpose only, to discredit this operation.
The report accused the school's management team of numerous financial wrongdoings. Superintendent Eugene Carlo invited all elected officials and finance departments from the school's sending communities to the press conference to set the record straight.
There has been no secrets here at Assabet. Our books have been open, and any representative of our community has and still has the opportunity to come in at any time, with or without an appointment, and ask any question they want.
According to the Metro West Daily News, the State Office of the Inspector General released 7 findings of financial mismanagement. As of last week, the State Department of Revenue and the Department of Education released a statement stating that the district did not mismanage its accounts. As of Wednesday, state officials did say that although the investigation is ongoing, the school is most likely not committing financial wrongdoings.
You're wasting your time, and God knows I wasted a year of my time doing this.
Carlo wrapped up his speech with one message for all to hear.
These kids, my teachers in this building, mean way too much for me. I refuse to be humiliated by a newspaper or a TV station that hasn't got a clue what it takes to be a public education teacher, administrator, or policyholder.
Following the press conference, school committee officials voted unanimously to approve the budget for next year, equaling just over $16 million. The budget will be sent to member communities for approval, beginning with Southborough on April 14th.
I hope that you have an opportunity to draw some conclusion of where we are and ask the questions. We're going to answer them.
At a finance subcommittee meeting on Wednesday night, school committee members recommended a lower FY09 budget than what was originally proposed. This recommendation will require significant reorganization. The board recommended decreasing the original amount by $520,000 to make the new total $48.6 million. The new figure is a 5.6% increase over this year's budget. Committee member Margaret Dwyer did support the reorganization, but was worried as the district prepares to enter the superintendent search.
I want to send a very strong message that I do support the reorganizational ideas, but I do not think that this is the time to undertake them.
The new plan will be discussed in detail during the next school committee meeting. At a finance committee meeting this past week, counselors recommended approving a transfer of nearly $500,000 to fulfill contract obligations. Within 20 minutes of discussion, counselors unanimously voted to approve $485,171 to fund second-year contract obligations for the following departments: police, fire, public works, library, auditor, city clerk, Board of Health, and Public Facilities. In addition, counselors spoke briefly of the mayor's proposed bond request for fiscal 2009. The committee will begin discussions on that topic on March 31st. Danielle Gregoire, back in the fall of 2007, lost a bid for the Ward 2 City Council seat. Now she's ready to heat up the local state representative race. Gregoire, legislative aide to veteran state rep Stephen LeDuc, announced her candidacy last week. Gregoire joined City Council President Arthur Vigent and Marlborough resident Joseph Valiente. Gregoire states that if elected, her top priorities will be increasing local aid for cities and towns and helping residents cope with sleep property taxes. Candidates have until April 29th to pull nomination papers for state office.
The Panthers entered WPI on Sunday afternoon with high hopes of reaching the school's first district final. Off to WPI we go, where Marlborough was taking on Wachusett in the Division I Central semifinals. In front of the packed house, Andre Beauchamp got the Panthers off and running. The first quarter was a back-and-forth battle, with Martine Van Ness tying the game up at 12 at the end of the first. In the second, the Panthers looked to their superstar, and he delivered. George Jordan scored 10 of his game-high 25 points in the quarter, which involved offensive putbacks, turnaround jumpers, and even a three-pointer that put the Panthers out in front. Keith Brown's three put the Panthers up by 11, and the Panthers would take a 34-27 lead into the half. Beauchamp would start the third quarter just like he did the first, draining 3 more of his 10 points, and then it was Jordan getting 2 and then converting this turnover into a 3-point play, and the Panthers were up by double digits. Jordan would score 9 total points in the third, give them 19 points in the last 16 minutes of play, and the Panthers were ahead 52-43 with only 1 quarter of basketball to play. That fourth quarter, though, would belong to point guard Connor Flynn, who kept the Charging Mountaineers at bay. Flynn opened the quarter with a 3 and then a lay-in, but Wachusett kept coming back. Brown's third 3 of the night put the Panthers up by 7, but Wachusett continued to fight and pulled within 2 points on this basket. On the next possession, Flynn was cool as ice, and the Panthers were up 64-59. Wachusett, though, answered right back with a 3 of their own, and they had a chance to tie, but Jordan was a defensive presence all night long, alters his shot, gathers his 15th rebound of the game, and ends up hitting 2 free throws to put the Panthers up by 4. Flynn would hit 2 more free throws from the line to seal the 69-65 win. The win advanced Panthers to the finals, where they would meet up with St. John's, who had defeated Fitchburg in the semifinals. From the opening tip, Marlborough showed it belonged in the district finals. The Panthers came out aggressive on defense, but their offense would struggle. The Panthers had trouble getting good shots and were off early on. Andre Beauchamp's 3 at the buzzer closed the gap to 18-13 after 1 quarter of play. In the second, the Panthers found their comfort level and took their first and only lead of the game. After baskets by Jordan and Brown cut the Pioneer lead down to 2, Flynn gave the Panthers a 22-21 lead. Then, off of a steal, Keith Brown stops and pops, draining this ridiculously long 3 to put the Panthers ahead by 4 and cap a 10-0 run. But St. John's was here for a reason, and they answered with a 14 run of their own to turn the Panthers' 4-point lead into a 10-point deficit. Jordan's 3-point play at the end of the half left the score 35-28 in favor of St. John's. Both teams came out of the half cold in the third quarter, and the Panthers were only able to muster 8 total points. The Panthers continued to miss from downtown as they shot just 5 of 20 from 3-point land in the game. Brown finally hit a 3 to start the fourth quarter, but the Pioneers answered right back, and with 4:19 left to go in the game, the Panthers' title hopes seemed to fade away. Jordan would cut the lead to 9, but St. John's answered again. Finally, with under 4 minutes to play, the Panthers exploded. Watch Kanan Severin here after Jordan makes this free throw come up with a steal. Brown gets the hoop to cut the lead to 8 and then follows after a St. John's miss with another basket, and the lead is suddenly down to 6. Then Flynn pokes the ball away from point guard David White, races down court and gets an easy lay-in, and just like that, with 2:30 left to go in the game, the Panthers are only down by 4, 54-50. The Panthers' defense would hold, but they could not corral a rebound, and the Pioneers made them pay as they finally came up with a loose ball and got a key basket. Down the other end, Brown, who struggled most of the night, hit back-to-back buckets, and with just over a minute to play, the Panthers had cut a one-time 11-point lead all the way down to 2. The Panthers desperately needed a stop to give them a chance for a tie, but White would follow his own miss and give St. John's a 4-point lead. The lead would be too much for the Panthers to overcome. The Panthers were forced to foul on the other end, and St. John's hit all 6 of their free throws down the stretch to hold off the Panthers 62-56. Jordan finished his final high school game with 18 points and 9 rebounds, while Brown finished with 17. Beauchamp scored 8 points and Flynn added 7 in the loss. The Panthers ended the season 19-4. That's sports for the week. I'm Brendan Rosenau. We'll see you at the game.
Marlborough Hospital is looking to lower your diabetes risk. Dr. Angela Restrepo will explain what cardiometabolic syndrome is and its role as a risk factor in developing diabetes. She will also discuss the importance lifestyle plays in decreasing the risk of diabetes and simple steps you can take in your daily life to take charge of your diabetes. The lecture will take place at the Leahy Conference Center at the Marlborough Hospital on Tuesday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Now, if you can't make it to this informative meeting, we, of course, will be there to bring you a full report next week. The second annual Stream Team met this past Tuesday night along with interested volunteers at City Hall. Volunteers and members learned about stream health, how to document wildlife and pipes entering streams, check for erosion, and the easiest way to walk along stream beds. Rachel Calabro, a coordinator of the Massachusetts Adopt a Stream program, was there to give the presentation, and she feels stream teams make a major difference in the community.
Stream teams are doing a lot to help with stream protection throughout the state. They do a lot of local protection work, but also education and advocacy work, both trying to pass laws locally in their towns and also on a state level trying to advocate for better river protection statewide.
Going into the neighborhoods and looking at streams with the stream team gives us a chance to see how healthy the streams are and what we can do to take care of our community, our home, basically.
Even if you missed the meeting, it's still not too late to join this great group. Help the Marlborough Conservation Commission evaluate the health of the rivers and streams throughout the city this spring. Contact Conservation Officer Priscilla Ryder to learn more. Speaking of spring, we experienced the first day of the season this past Thursday, even though it felt more like winter. In the United States, spring is a time of transition, not only for plant and animal life, but for the weather too. It can mean weather extremes from very cold and snowy to humid, stormy days. Well, one thing that spring does bring is the Mayor's Charity Ball. Reservations are still currently being accepted for the April 5th event. The theme of this year's event is Tonight's Dream, Tomorrow's Memory. The special event will be held at the Best Western Royal Plaza Hotel. The event begins at 7 and will include a silent auction, raffles, hors d'oeuvres, desserts, coffee, and dancing. Anyone wishing to purchase tickets, reserve a table, place an ad in the program book, or to become a sponsor, call event co-chair Linda Ossing at 508-243-5628 or Robert Kays at 508-981-2960. All proceeds from the event will be used to replenish the Mayor's Charity Relief Fund to help city residents in times of need. Well, the wait is almost over. WMCT-TV studios are almost finally up and running. What this means for you is that all in-house and access programming can begin once again on the week of March 17th. And your favorite show, of course, Marlborough This Week, will be back in full swing. We have a new co-anchor. Can't tell you who yet, but make sure you watch the premiere show of Marlborough This Week, airing on March 28th. We at WMCT-TV and M8 would also like to cordially invite you to a tour of our new studios. We are having an open house Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome, and if you'd like more information, please contact Access producer Kelly McLaughlin at 508-481-1373. Now is a great time to come and see what your local cable station is all about. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of your MTW News Update. We want to thank you for watching us. We'll see you again next week. Till then, take care.
The preceding program was provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up on Marlborough This Week, fire crews responded to a 5-alarm blaze that tore through a shopping plaza on Route 20 in Northborough. Brian Sullivan was on the scene.
Fitness in Marlborough schools is taken to a whole new level. A sneak peek of their new fitness room is coming up.
Plus, Marlborough Hospital wants to lower your diabetes risk, and they have just the doctor to do it. Angela Restrepo gets real about diabetes in 2008.
And later in this half hour, the Stream Team is back and is ready to make a major difference in the community.
Don't go anywhere. Marlborough This Week begins right now. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette.
And I'm Brian Sullivan.
Our top story begins in Northborough this week. An early morning fire destroyed a strip mall, leaving one firefighter with minor injuries. Brian Sullivan was at the scene that morning.
The call came in just before 3 a.m. by a passing limo driver who saw flames coming up from behind O'Brien's 5 and 10.
The arriving initial engine company and ladder company found a large volume of fire issuing from the roof directly behind us, which is the unit that is occupied by O'Brien's 5 and 10.
With over 70 firefighters on the scene, the blaze was brought under control around 4:30 a.m. with one injury reported.
One Marlborough firefighter that was injured. He was entangled in a hose line. He was transported by the Northborough Fire Department ambulance to UMass Marlborough Hospital, where he was treated and released for either a strain or a sprain of a shoulder.
This area of the heavily traveled Route 20 was blocked off from 3:30 to 7:30, causing some big delays for the morning commute.
It was very icy early here this morning with the water. Also getting Route 20 blocked off for the busy commute, along with Mass Highway, State Police, and as well as our Water Department ensuring that we did have enough water to fight the fire.
The building houses 5 businesses, and O'Brien's 5 and 10, Brown's TV and Appliance, Desi's Supermarket, Garibidian Jewelers, and Queen Bead, a bead and craft store.
The most substantial damage is directly behind us, O'Brien's 5 and 10, as well as Brown's TV. At this point, we'd probably be 2 or 3 days before we will have any definitive answers ourselves, and it may be 2 to 3 months before the report is completed and a complete cause and origin report is done.
O'Brien's experienced a similar blaze like this at their former location in Northborough. Now, 29 years later, they're reliving the nightmare. With the cost estimated in the millions and the cause still under investigation, today just remains a sad day for local business owners. From Marlborough This Week, I'm Brian Sullivan. Police are continuing to investigate whether a student at the Intermediate Elementary exposed himself to another student last week. According to the Metro West Daily News, the department has not filed charges and the investigation is ongoing. According to police records, a call was received at 1:36 p.m. reporting a sex offense at the school. Physical contact or touching is believed to not have occurred.
City officials are sending out notices to riders of current buses stating what can be expected as the city joins a new regional transit authority. Riders of the Assabet Valley Council on Aging Transportation, Inc. and local connection buses should receive the notices by April 10th. Mayor Nancy Stevens said she does not expect services to drop as Marlborough leaves the Worcester Regional Transit Authority. Any rider who does not receive a notice should contact the mayor's office at 508-460-3770. Well, the plan to redevelop the old Armory building on Lincoln Street is causing major uproar from the city's Historical Commission. Commission Chairman Gary Brown states that the current plans completely alter the character of the building. Plans include adding a handicap lift to the front of the building, removing the slate roof, and widen the windows. Councilor at Large Patricia Pope states that the committee will add Brown's concerns to the list of questions. Building Commissioner Stephen Reed hopes to hear detailed questions about the layout of the proposed 12 condominium development. Ward 3 City Councilor Scott Schaefer states that although councilors are in support of the idea, they want to ensure that it's completed properly. According to Pope, the project will have to win the support of 8 out of 10 councilors.
The maker of Carvel Ice Cream Cakes will close its doors here this spring, putting 90 people out of work as the company shifts production to a new plant in Connecticut. The plant is slated to close on May 9th. The employees were told on March 11th they would be laid off. A 20% hike in ingredients and a 50% rise in operating costs are the reasons why the plant is shutting down. Celebration Foods opened a larger manufacturing plant in New Britain, Connecticut last month, creating 225 new jobs. There will be no relocation packages, but the company will look favorably to anyone who is looking at the new facility for work.
City councilors toured the facility at 110 Pleasant Street, which has been foreclosed after the property owner was unable to pay money he owed in back taxes and interest. Councilors described the building to be vacant, water-soaked, and in disrepair. Councilors debated this past month whether to auction off the property or to put out a request for proposals. During an Operations and Oversight Committee meeting, councilors voted to keep the issue open for further discussion. The current building on the site is home to a church, police substation, a paintball outlet, and addiction referral center. All tenants have been given a 1 month's notice to leave.
Ward 3 City Councilor Scott Schaefer stated on Monday that he will not be running for the state representative seat. City Council President Arthur Vigent, Democrat Danielle Gregoire, and Independent Joseph Valianti are the only candidates at this time. Candidates have until April 29th to pull nomination papers for state office.
We haven't been wrong for 35 years, and we have not changed our methodology.
The Assabet Valley Regional Technical School held a press conference to address any and all questions regarding the Inspector General's February 22nd report.
Unfortunately, we hit the newspaper, we're on TV, for one purpose only, to discredit this operation.
The report accused the school's management team of numerous financial wrongdoings. Superintendent Eugene Carlo invited all elected officials and finance departments from the school's sending communities to the press conference to set the record straight.
There has been no secrets here at Assabet. Our books have been open, and any representative of our community has and still has the opportunity to come in at any time, with or without an appointment, and ask any question they want. These kids, my teachers in this building, mean way too much for me.
As of last week, the State Department of Revenue and the Department of Education released a statement stating the district did not mismanage its accounts. State officials did say that although the investigation will continue, the school is most likely not committing financial wrongdoings.
What happens to the students and the identity of the building that we call MIES today if we move forward with this?
A proposed school district reorganization plan that would bring the middle school and the intermediate elementary school under one administration will move forward. School committee members voted 6-1 in favor of the plan. Interim Superintendent Mary Carlson presented the reorganization plan, which is aimed at reducing the fiscal 2009 budget. The plan will combine 2 directors of curriculum and cut a director of instructional technology, a math coach, a math lab teacher, and the central registrar. Although the plan is praised by most, some are left questioning the timing as the district prepares to enter the superintendent search. Committee Vice Chairwoman Kathleen Roby stated that the district could make it clear during the search that they are not looking for massive change.
I just am concerned that if we try to thrust a model upon any candidate, we may be accepting less than the best we can find to ensure the success for all our students.
Fitness is the newest to the learning experience at the Marlborough Intermediate Elementary School and the Marlborough Middle School since a fitness room opened in February. Nearly 100 people attended the ribbon cutting ceremony held February 13th at the new facility. Use of the fitness room will be coupled with pedometers and incorporated into the 10,000 steps a day and Walk Across America programs. Students and staff who wish to participate in the programs sign contracts, keep logs of their daily steps, and write in journals. The facility is made possible in part by the generous donations and contributions of the Metro West Community Healthcare Foundation and the Wayside Racket and Swim Club.
It's not just the young children that are getting their daily exercise these days. Thanks to nurse Nancy Fernandez, seniors at the Senior Center keep moving. We sat in on one of the classes this past week so you could see the action for yourself.
Those are the sounds of the local exercise class given at the Senior Center on Main Street. Might look a little strange, but these seniors are getting a major dose of exactly what they need. Do you still need proof of the benefits of exercise? Maybe Nancy Fernandez can provide some insight. About 30 seniors joined her this past Thursday for a cardio toning class. The sessions are designed to improve strength, endurance, flexibility, balance, and mobility.
They get a new sense of flexibility, increased range of motion, they have fun, that's probably the biggest thing.
Regular physical activity can help prevent or control many health problems such as high blood pressure, depression, obesity, and diabetes that can reduce the quality and length of life for older adults. The ever-popular cardio toning exercise class is offered 3 days a week, each class being 45 minutes in length. The times are on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
I'm amazed at their dedication to come. That really amazes me.
The first half of the class is gentle cardio, which can be done in a chair or standing, and the last half includes strengthening of the upper and lower body with handheld weights. This class is open to all with a wide range of capabilities. Next is the floor core class, which is now offered on Monday at 11 a.m. This class is a step up from the cardio toning class. It's for anyone able to exercise standing, sitting, and or lying on a mat with the use of body balls. This class is designed for anyone that can stand or sit during exercise. The seniors are in a community room, most standing behind chairs or at their walkers, and some remain seated.
There's a sense of community when we come together in here. Everybody gets to know each other in a whole different light. I've seen changes in their bodies, their strength, their flexibility, their attitude. I don't know, just everything. It's really nice. It's a really good sense of community. It's really nice. And they love the music.
The vibe in the room is charged and positive. There are lots of laughter and plenty of encouragement and teasing among the participants.
It's really fun because I keep them energized with the music and things that they wouldn't typically hear, maybe all the time, and they love that, and that keeps them going.
The program is continually being evaluated for effectiveness, counting the number of attendees, and the units of exercise and health education.
It's offered throughout Marlborough, so anybody that's a senior can come down and, and do these classes.
The session ends with applause and the group looking rejuvenated.
In addition, nominations are now being accepted for the 2008 Senior of the Year. You can pick up an application at the Council on Aging on Main Street. The deadline for submission is April 15th.
Being well means being healthy inside and out. Marlborough Hospital and Dr. Angela Restrepo aimed to lower your diabetes risk this past Tuesday night. In case you missed it, we were there.
30 years ago, diabetes looked a lot different than it does today. Today, type 2 diabetes can be prevented or delayed. Every day, new and more effective treatments have become available through research. On Tuesday night, endocrinologist Angela Restrepo got real about diabetes, how you can prevent the disease, and the risks of pre-diabetes.
There are many people affected with pre-diabetes, about 54 million in the United States. So if we can change that condition, diabetes can decrease. And this is achieved improving the blood pressure, improving the lipid or the cholesterol profile, and also obviously decreasing the obesity rates.
Every 24 hours, there are 4,100 new cases, there are 810 new deaths, 230 amputations, 120 kidney failures, and 55 new cases of blindness. Out of all this, there is good news. Diabetes can be prevented. Angela made it quite clear that there are several ways to reduce your risk of diabetes.
The first one is increasing the physical activity, having a regular exercise routine, trying to enjoy that routine, socialize with that routine and make it in a way that is going to be pleasant and you can persist doing that. The other way is changing the dietary habits for very healthy habits, which includes having small portions and having healthy food.
Maybe you're sitting at home thinking, well, this will never affect me. You should think again. Many people are walking around day to day and don't even know they have diabetes. There are certain symptoms to look out for.
Increase in thirst, increase in feeling of hunger, blood revision, increase urinary frequency, and obviously this is confirmed with a test.
So are we close to a cure?
Type 1 diabetes that is usually caused because of an immunologic or an inflammatory reaction in the pancreas is the one that could be closer to a cure because there are several studies trying to regulate that immunologic or inflammatory response. The type 2 diabetes basically is about lifestyle modification, and we have many medications that can help the body to regulate the blood sugar, but we don't have a cure available for this disease yet.
Let's recap. Here are the major points Angela wants you to know.
It's important to recognize the epidemic of diabetes and also to recognize how this can get even worse throughout the years. Secondly, I want to emphasize all the possible complications that diabetes can bring and also how these complications could be prevented with a good glucose control. It's important recognizing the existence of the pre-diabetes condition that goes along with the obesity that is another epidemic situation. And if we can improve this, the risk for developing diabetes can decrease.
After 20 years meeting at the Holiday Inn, members of the Marlborough Rotary Club recently voted to change the venue for their regular Thursday luncheon. The meetings will continue to convene at 12:15 p.m. every Thursday at Coral Seafoods in downtown Marlborough. The first meeting in the venue is scheduled for April 3rd. Many factors went into the decision, including a spacious function room and a large menu selection. President-elect George Wampum invites all community-minded business people to explore what the Marlborough Rotary Club has to offer. Interested parties are welcome to join the luncheon. Just ask any member to come as a guest.
Speaking of changing locations, WMCT and M8 studios have moved from the Walker Building at 255 Main Street to the old fire station at 91 Main Street. To celebrate, we had an open house this past Thursday night for all residents who were interested in seeing what we have to offer. Residents came in to meet the staff to check out our new studios, and it seemed like everyone was pretty impressed. For more information about training and/or producing a show, interested residents are encouraged to call the station at 508-481-1373. So it went off without a hitch, but one person was missing. It was you. You should have been here.
I should have been here.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
all right.
I have a schedule to keep.
All right.
And I do grown-up things
Oh.
outside of this. Yeah.
Wow.
Huh, how about that?
Excuse us.
So what's the latest craze to hit the New Horizons Community Center? Here's a hint. It's just a mouse and a click away.
Hi, this is firefighter Marcus Senko with a fire safety tip for you. All too often, we tend to be distracted while cooking in our kitchen. Neighbors coming to the door, or your telephone is ringing. Unattended cooking can cause fire. Here's a tip for you. Purchase yourself a timer. And there's also a neck timer. This timer is good because if you get distracted or leave the room, you will have the timer with you around your neck. You can purchase these timers at any local hardware store. So when timing is everything, be smart, be aware, be fire safe.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. New Horizons, a nonprofit retirement community in the city, recently teamed up with Hudson-based Intel, Massachusetts to open a new computer learning center. Christina Mira has the story.
So here at the Albert Frechette Computer Lab, senior citizens are getting in on the latest craze, the World Wide Web.
You're learning all the time. And I don't know, it's just a marvelous thing to have.
When it comes to computers, age is not a problem at the New Horizons Senior Center in Marlborough. Former resident Albert Frechette set in motion a computer program that has grown from one computer to an entire lab named in his memory.
It had a great deal to do with that. It started in his apartment and grew to the beautiful center that we have here today.
His nephew Marshall, a process engineer at Intel, was able to get the lab up and running.
Intel started, I think a couple years ago, trying to work on a grant. They were able to get a grant over the summer, and then I worked together with Marshall Frechette to buy the equipment from Micro Center in Cambridge and work to get all set up with our corporate office.
With the new equipment secured, a buzz went through the center.
Intel first came here. We met downstairs in what we call the theater, and there were quite a few people there, but many of us knew nothing, and varying degrees of people who knew knew a little bit to a lot, and most of us need help.
The Intel-taught computer classes became the place to be.
If I got a problem, I can come up here, and they come down and they fix my problem.
The group here, Hemingway and Intel, to teach us all this stuff. And the girls are great here.
Kristen, a staff member at New Horizons, has felt the excitement as well.
We've had a lot of, setting up residents with email addresses and stuff because some of them don't have any. So we did a bunch of that, getting them started on email and, and just, if they have any specific questions that they're looking for, just helping them set up, like looking at the web because, some of them they don't know what it's about. So they sort of just want to know, what it is.
And while some may think of a senior center as just a place for bridge, that is hardly the case.
Overall, we're seeing more and more people in the 75 to 85 year range who are accessing computers more frequently. It's always, it's been recently very surprising to me to see the number of people who are interested in this technology, who are getting involved with it really for the first time and embracing it, which I think is wonderful.
All the young people know how to use the computer. I've also learned to play bridge since I've been here at New Horizons, and I'm looking for new bridge books, and I buy books through Amazon.
Irene Frechette and Constance King, sisters of Albert, are glad to see his vision in motion.
I think he'd be surprised and fascinated, and he would like it.
Overall, the seniors are ready to explore the World Wide Web in the new Albert Frechette Computer Lab at New Horizons Senior Center. For Marlborough This Week, I'm Christina Mira.
The second annual STREAM team met to bring new members and volunteers up to speed on what they might expect as they inspect the streams around the city. The STREAM team got started as part of the EPA Stormwater Phase 2 requirement, which is a requirement for each community to look at how stormwater is affecting the drinking water.
One of the requirements is to look at our streams and make sure that our streams are healthy, and if they're not, what's the problem, and to fix that.
Volunteer Jennifer Boudry states it was a chance to connect with the environment on a level that's not seen very often.
Last year I discovered that we have a lot of outdoor space in Marlborough that's yet undiscovered in some way by people who are walking and driving the streets but not finding out what's going on in the forest and around the neighborhoods. So it was a great way to explore the green space of Marlborough in some way and see what we can do to keep it healthy.
The group was lucky enough to have Rachel Calabro, a coordinator of the Massachusetts Adopt a Stream program, come to the meeting to discuss what they might see when they're evaluating the streams. Next, it was what to do in every situation.
Stream teams are doing a lot to help with stream protection throughout the state. They do a lot of local protection work, but also education and advocacy work, both trying to pass laws locally in their towns and also on a state level trying to advocate for better river protection statewide.
Several new volunteers came to the meeting to express their love for the environment and wanted to know what they could do to help.
I am personally concerned about the environmental situation, not just of the Marlborough, but of the whole country. Not just in this town, other towns and the whole country should get involved to do something about the environmental situation. Because if we don't do anything about it, who knows what's going to happen?
The STREAM team is a good place to meet other people who are very interested in the outdoors and who want to make a difference in the community. So I highly recommend anyone who lives in Marlborough, works in Marlborough, to join the STREAM team.
The Mayor's Charity Ball is just 1 week away, and just so you know, reservations are still being accepted. One thing that you may not know about is the silent auction. This year is very special as selected pieces from the city's permanent collection will be up for sale.
Permanent collection is an idea that was started several years ago in the Marlborough Public Schools, a way to inspire artists, young artists as they come along by showing them examples of student work.
In order to get these amazing pieces of work out to the residents of Marlborough, the Marlborough Art District decided to donate either the originals or a copy from the permanent collection.
We thought a perfect place to start using our permanent collection for fundraising was to help at the Mayor's Charity Ball. So these pieces will be part of the silent auction at the Mayor's Ball.
Linda Ossing, co-chair of the Mayor's Charity Ball, thinks this donation will be a great addition to the silent auction.
The proceeds from the sales will be going into the Mayor's Charity Relief Fund, which is, as you know, the fund that the ball raises money for, and we're thrilled with the donation that we were able to get from the high school.
Angela Schunard, a senior at Marlborough High School, is donating one of her pieces to the auction.
I take photography at Marlborough High. I'm excited to be involved in the permanent collection and donate this to the Mayor's Ball.
Each art teacher from each school chose one piece of art to add to the collection. That includes the elementary schools, the intermediate elementary school, the middle school, and the high school.
We are hopeful that the permanent collection will be something that the entire community shares in.
Still to come, Gina has the Animal of the Week and something extra that you just don't want to miss. We're back in a moment.
Obesity in America is at an epidemic level. During the last 30 years, the rate of childhood obesity has tripled.
Childhood obesity involves much more than simply being overweight.
So what can we do to help our children?
Plan family exercise. Take the kids to the park.
We can limit the snack or junk foods kept in our homes.
Go for a family walk or bike ride, or simply throw the ball around the backyard.
Together, we can make a difference in the health and well-being of our children.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. Let's head now to the Buddy Dog Animal Shelter in Sudbury. Not only do we have our Animal of the Week, but we found out something extra. Foreclosures and winter months. Has it had effect on local shelters? Gina has that answer and what you can do for your pet during these fiscally challenging times.
Many times when people whose financial issues call for cutbacks, family pets run the risk of losing their home. The Buddy Dog Humane Society is almost operating at full capacity. Many of the animals are here by owner surrender.
We see animals on the doorstep all the time, mostly cats. And then sometimes dogs will be tied to the railing, not too often. We have probably close to 30 cats here right now. Our facility is intended to hold about 25. We hold in the main kennel 32 dogs, and then we have an additional puppy room for smaller dogs or puppies.
A current report says families are being forced into financial crisis because of the mortgage meltdown. Therefore, they end up having to give up the family pet.
People are having to move into apartments or, selling their homes, and so they can't find places that they're allowed to take a dog with them. So we are seeing that a lot now too. We feel bad for the animals, obviously, but we know that it's better than if they let them off on the side of the road or put them into a park where no one might find them. So we're always glad that, if we have to, that we are there to help.
On average, dog and cat owners spend $1,200 annually on basic expenses. Nearly $700 of that is medical care. It's vaccinations and other preventative care that many pet owners skip when money's tight. If the falling stock market and rising energy costs have you doing a little belt tightening, you'll be happy to know there are ways to reduce pet expenses while still giving good care.
There are lots of things that folks can do if they're having a hard time. We do actually provide food to the local food pantry, pet food, so that when people are at the food pantry for themselves, they can also pick up supplies for their pets. There are low-cost clinics for spaying and neutering. There's vaccination clinics in every town every spring. Sudbury just had one a couple weeks ago, where you can go and get your rabies vaccination, which is required by law. If someone doesn't have the means to explore those on their own, they're certainly welcome to call the shelter, and we can provide them with ways that they can help out their pets.
Now that that's out of the way, let's meet our Animal of the Week.
Thanks, Kristen. Today we have Zuli, and she's an adorable little Chihuahua mix who came to us from Puerto Rico. She's going to make somebody a great pal on the couch, but she is a little feisty with other animals, so she needs to be the only pet. She is not good with cats, and she tends to boss around the dogs. So we really think she'd be happiest as the only dog, but she would love to be a companion. She's easy to walk on a leash, and we're pretty sure that she's housebroken. So if you're interested in Zuli or any of the other dogs at Buddy Dog, please feel free to contact us at the shelter. The number is 978-443-6990.
Before we go, let's get to know our new co-anchor. Here's a little bit about Brian Sullivan.
I work in Boston. I do news and traffic. We're a service provider for radio and TV stations all over the city. This is sort of the end of the line for radio for me, and TV is the next step. I'd love to end up on CNN or MSNBC. That'd be wonderful, doing field reporting, covering events, political events, most likely. When I'm doing this, it's definitely all business while the cameras are rolling or while the mic is on. But in between that, I'm a total prankster. So
you're a prankster? No jokes on me, I tell you that right now.
Then be careful starting your car when you get out of here.
Whoa.
No, but seriously, don't check under your desk. That's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Brian Sullivan.
And I'm Kristen Doucette. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.